new Minivan position.
As long as I can make a sound, my artistry will be around. Long after I'm in the ground, if one person feels what I spit, I have purpose. It was worth it.
Minivan Musician.
73.
Yep, episode number 73. First thing first, like everyone tells you, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, hit the bell so that you're in the loop of the stuff that we're dropping. Because, you know, this Friday in particular, we're dropping something real special. The Burn Loop Murder video.
Yes.
Which I'll talk about in a second. And leave a comment. Engage with us. It's good for the algorithm. It makes us get seen, you know, with relative topics and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you do that. We've actually been knocked down by YouTube a bunch of times, so any little bit of help that we can get by people that understand that type of a situation,
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
appreciated.
For sure.
As far as Friday, the Burn Loop Murder video was finally coming.
Woo!
We had some of the behind the scenes stuff last week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course, I'll leave a link to that in the description. Just a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. Very meaningful song.
Great song.
She thinks it's a great song.
Yeah.
I gave y'all the audio several weeks back, but we didn't really get to promote that video, so not many people have heard it. People who have heard it do love it. John Cash definitely did his thing on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's myself and John Cash addressing some of the issues in the country. It's called Burn Loop Murder, BLM.
Yeah.
BL Tiny AM.
Burn Loop Murder.
Yeah.
So, if you haven't got that yet.
So, you know, and that kind of ties into what we're talking about tonight.
Yes.
The Cosmetic Conservative, I'll call her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is kind of the equivalent of Scooby-Doo, you know, like the mystery machine pulls up and we're like, let's see what's really behind, you know.
Yank the mask on.
And Nicole's going to be like, I would have pulled it off if it wasn't for you meddling conservatives. And, you know, I'll try to explain it the best I can. I got a ton of notes. I got notes because of the fact-checking idiots out there. They'll be like, no, actually, that was in October of 2016. Shut the fuck up. But just so I don't have to hear that bullshit, I have some notes. But, yeah, you can tell I'm a little irritated by this whole topic. I don't even like that I have to talk about it. In fact, even though we've called out, you know, in general, you know, false fitness, you know, influencers.
Yeah, a few different people.
We've called out Dr. Grande, who I actually like, over one particular topic, but...
Vlad.
Everybody's called out Vlad. He's a piece of shit, but he's just not a good person. But outside of that, we have done nothing but exalt people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it's independent artists we had at a show... fucking pedophile hunters, hitmen who went to prison and turned their lives around when they got out,
influencers,
Big Herc, fucking Amber Boone. Like we try to focus on the positive. I give reviews of albums that were great here and there. You know what I'm saying? But every now and then something more important comes up,
and we have to talk about that.
And anybody who's a conservative or even leans that way on certain issues, or who thinks that our country's headed, you know, in the wrong direction with the left in power, needs to listen to what I'm saying here in particular.
Yeah.
It's an issue when you start getting people kind of infiltrating your movement or your community or your group who really have no true interest, or, you know, they're not really for, they don't give a shit about what it is that they're representing, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they're just like being false represented. I mean, it's like somebody, you know how they do the whole the wolf in sheep's clothing type thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of similar to that, where it's like, you know, somebody is acting like, you know, they're on this one particular side of some kind of issue, or that they really, really care and they're all about this, that, and the other, but they're actually not. Inside, they're not at all. They're just doing it to serve whatever narrative is going on at that time, to make themselves look good, to serve themselves. It's not anything that they actually feel. You know, there's a moth that got in here. Yeah, it's stinking.
At least ain't one of them big hairy ones that freaks me out.
Oh, Lord, yeah, it's what porch light.
So, yeah, I mean, people like some of you listening who suffered losing friends, acquaintances, maybe a job, income, endorsement, something, just for saying something positive about Donald Trump, or just for having a few conservative values, or just for arguing against the left.
Yeah.
All of you need to be hip to what's going on here. Okay, especially someone like me, you know, I'm a hip hop artist, even in my own town, going to perform this Burn Luke Murder song, my life is probably in danger.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll hold my head high because my values and my belief system is everything to me. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe that that's the case with this person. I don't believe that if this person didn't think that it would benefit them, that they would ever fall in line with conservatives.
No. And people like that should never be a spokesperson and a face for, you know, people, for conservative people, or people who are, you know, even close to being
who have any like serious belief system that they don't share, because this is serious.
They make us all look bad.
Those of us who actually care about this understand that this is the future of our country, the world that our children will live in. The possible dwindling of the support for our God. Mm-hmm. For those of us who, you know, are more on that side of conservatism.
This is a fight. It's a fight.
It's a real fight.
You know?
You know, someone like that could point out fraud and this, that, and the other because it's what's in a headline, but they don't understand what it represents because they're not a part of us.
Yeah.
That's the problem. This whole thing reminds me of, you know, there's an issue where, and I'll admit I'm guilty of this. I actually named Nicole Arbour. Now I'll finally say her fucking name.
Yeah,
hopefully she doesn't sue me for saying her name.
Right.
I actually named her in a past video as somebody who was a representative of the right. Mm-hmm. And it was good that she'd come over from the liberal side of things. God, I think I fucking compared her to Dave Rubin. But Dave Rubin got fooled too because she was on his show and there was a good rapport there. So
we've named her a couple times.
Yeah, and that was a mistake. And maybe that's why I'm so...
insulted?
Yeah. I'm mad at myself a little bit. But that's what I'm getting to. The problem is that because we've been so vilified for our beliefs, when somebody comes over, we're like, hell yeah, the more the merrier, you know, strength in numbers.
And people are listening to this person, so I'm going to, you know, listen too.
Right. So there's that. But here's the problem, people. I understand we're in a country where majority rules, technically. This person don't have a vote because she's from Canada, but y'all get what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. It's a majority rule thing, so we're like, hell yeah, you know, bring them all in. But it reminds me of when I was a teenager. I spent a lot of time around a particular criminal organization. Very big, powerful, wealthy criminal organization. A war popped off. They started letting everybody and their mother and their cousin and cousins too. They let everybody into the nation, right? That destroyed something that had been, you know, at least in the Metro Detroit area, it had been big for, you know, a decade. It destroyed it in a matter of months. You start letting people into it that really don't, you know, live by what it represents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't just let everybody squeak their way in. You know, whether it's because they got a following or a pretty face or a fucking personality that might appeal to some people. That's all fine and dandy, but to be honest, that's liberal shit. Get somebody who just has a personality, or they're funny, or they're a little younger, or, you know, they're still stuck on that fucking JFK thing. Like, they're trying to... they really are. But, see, I didn't want to lay out this person's background with different types of issues, but I have to, because a lot of people don't know it. I didn't know it, and I think that I follow people like her reasonably well, so I know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Clearly know. And you'll see why. It's a thing where it's kind of like, you know, build up an audience through sensationalism alienate said audience, be fucking destroyed, and then find something else to latch onto.
Yep.
So these people that you alienated have moved on. You don't even fucking exist them anymore. You know what I mean? And they didn't bother to tell this next group. Mm-hmm. You know? So...
Yep. Oh, God, and we see it happen all the fucking time.
Yeah, I mean, so the reason... I need to break it down because it's a pattern of behavior. Now, you guys may or may not have seen the Candace Owens video. That's partly what spawned all of this. Mm-hmm. You need to watch it. It's even if you don't know anything about this, don't care about this situation, aren't a conservative, you have to watch it just for the fucking call out gold that it is, just for the receipts that it is, like right in your face. Candace, I gotta give her props because she did try to be civil in this whole, way more civil than I could have ever been. That's why.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I don't think I'll ever be at that level with anything because I'm just not that motherfucking professional. Yeah. Not when it comes to this kind of shit.
It'd be hard not to rip her to
that I'm passionate about, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But that spawned some of this, and good God, I like Candace said. There's a pattern of behavior when everybody who has nothing to do with each other, who has no vested interest in anything, there's no collusion, just happens to have the same story about somebody. It's probably true.
Yeah. Yes.
I'd say 99 times out of 100. Yeah. And the other time it's half true.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Right. I mean, you know, you could say haters or whatever.
No.
But no, man. Like, none of these people gain a motherfucking thing. If anything, they lost things by fucking with this person. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Nicole pops up in, like, 2006. Doing little comedy routines and shit like that. And the first thing that's fucking corny about her is laugh tracks added to her stand-up shit. Whatever. I mean, I understand how hard it is.
Laugh track.
Right. I understand how hard it is to get an audience on YouTube.
Right, yeah, for sure.
I mean, you know, and I don't know what she did in the gap in between, but like 2015 is when I first saw her. She did a IG model video that was mildly entertaining, and I kind of liked it because I felt like those chicks needed to be called out. But right after that, because I don't think that got the traction that she wanted it to, she did the Dear Fat People video.
Yeah, I'm sure all of you, or at least most of you, know that one.
You know what's funny is I like the video. I keep going vape to vape. I'm so irritated. Yeah, she did the Dear Fat People video, which I liked. And part of why I liked it was the only description of why it was created that came from her. And that was kind of based in health, that the media was pushing to be unhealthy. Mm-hmm. I'm just telling the truth, that sort of thing, okay?
Right, all sounds good, looks good on paper.
Yeah, I was like, that's fucking great.
Right.
But see, she really catered to a liberal audience at that time. To the left, and you know, you'll see that more as I go through this. But you know, I'm looking at the notes here. But okay, so you know, she ended up on The View over it, and oh my God, she probably was wet as fuck over that. I mean,
no, I'm sure that was just a dream.
I'm famous, but wasn't a dream come true. Those women on The View, as much as I can't stand them, are very intelligent.
Oh, they dig.
They've been around.
They are investigators.
Especially Whoopi and Joy.
Reporters.
Mm-hmm. And they called her out. They're not afraid to call you out. Mm-hmm. They made her look dumb to where she went from, I was doing it for people's health, you know, with her stupid little shit. And then when Joy calls her out, she goes to, well, it's just satire. I'm a comedian.
Right.
You know,
like, can't you take a joke type shit like that.
Yeah, and back and forth. It's like, dude, either you mean it or it was satire. And I don't think she knows what satire means any damn way. Or it's a joke or you're serious or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, after that, it just it gets worse and worse as things go on. That thing obviously got her attacked by a lot of people, but it also got her the attention she wanted.
Yes.
So she went to the most offensive video ever, you know, and her followers went way up. You know, so in order to keep with the Dear Fat People thing, she tried to save face by saying like, you know, we all need to make fun of each other, and you know, I do this to myself, and
Right,
you know, that kind of
yeah,
thing. So there was like Dear Refugees, there was like Dear Sluts, there's Dear Feminists. Now she did Dear Black People.
Yep.
Fuck. And the reason I say fuck is because it went really wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, and after, I mean, at that point, I'm sure she felt super defeated because she kind of, you know, like her wiki page will describe her as like a comedian, a music artist. She made like a rap song or two or some shit.
Yeah.
She was a choreographer. She had an accident. I think that's what stopped that, but I think that might play into all of this.
Yeah.
A blogger, you know. The thing that she really is, she never gained traction in any of those things. Nobody ever said, except the stupid little shorties award thing, nobody's ever said fucking Nicole Arbour's hilarious. Like, you know, she's the next Lisa Lampanelli. No, nobody's ever said no shit like that
Not
before.
about to be on no roast or anything.
No, and she ain't gonna be no fucking rapper. You know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna be no fucking singer. You know, nobody gives a shit about her blogging. What she is, though, what she's been recognized for, you need to look at what some... Okay, if a player comes into the league and he and all of his people say, he's an all-around player, man, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you know, that sounds all great on paper, man. Or like, let's say a baseball player. He's a 5-tool player. But then he proceeds to just hit home runs. And they're fucking great, you know, but you need to stop taking what he said initially and what the so-called experts said about him initially and state what he really is. He's a power hitter. She's a marketer.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, these analogies aren't great. They're coming off the top of my head. But she's a marketer. That's what she's been recognized for. That's what she won awards for. That's what she got articles written about her for. Is sensationalism, essentially.
Yes.
I'm going to offend a bunch of people, and then I'm going to say, like, you know, screw censorship. I'm just being a comedian. And people feel sorry for me. I'm a victim now. And all these other people are victims, too. She likes to name drop.
Yeah.
You know, so this is all a market. It's marketing. And as I go through this, bear with me, you'll see what I mean. Because it's all marketing when somebody keeps changing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And somebody can change their views. Now, here's the problem with the conservative thing, before I dig into it completely. She hasn't changed any fundamental views, or at least talked about it, that makes her representative of being a conservative.
No.
There's been no, I found Jesus, except where she kind of pandered once to Christians with one Easter post.
Yeah.
There's been no, you know, like, I believe that liberals believe in a large government. I don't like the way they spend. I don't like socialism.
Right.
So, therefore, I'm a capitalist and I kind of side with Republicans. There's none of that.
Right.
There's none of that, quote-unquote, come to Jesus moment where it's like, okay, all cards on the table. Here's what I believe in. I'm making this switch. Mm-hmm. She made a switch because that side didn't accept her anymore.
Yep.
And she couldn't bank off of them. So, I mean, going up through the Dear Fat People and all that, there was the, what's his name? Fucking Matthew Santoro.
Yeah.
I watched this video and I'm going to tell you something. It was emotional to me. To hear a dude openly talking about being abused that way, manipulated, distanced from his family members, told that he's sleeping with every woman that he knows, all that kind of shit, and then to be assaulted when he just wants to leave and exit the situation.
That is classic narcissism. And, you know, like, a lot of women in relationships, like, go through that and stuff. It's like, oh, okay, you know. Well, look at that, like, happening to him. What the fuck?
And she has spent a nice little chunk of her career calling out the Me Too movement, too.
Yep.
This is what's fucking crazy. This bitch is a walking contradiction. Yes, thank you. And so she tried to immediately release a video, but he never said her name. She released a video making herself the victim. You know, like she was ending things and the greatest part was, that's in the second video she did. Never mind. So there was that. People didn't believe her. She tried the poor me, I'm a defenseless woman, he's trying to destroy me, you know, that kind of thing. None of it fucking worked.
Thank God people didn't believe her.
I know, that's the thing. But like we were saying earlier, she always finds more people to believe her. Let's see, what order do I got this shit in? It's like, there's so much. There's
mangled the story.
it sucks trying to give her background because there's a lot, and it's like a lot of it I want to skip over, but I'm like, damn, I can't. Like in 2018, she did the This Is America women's edit.
Yeah.
The Childish Gambino song.
Yep.
During a very touchy social time.
Yes.
Where, you know, even your real conservatives who are, you know, fighting to say, hey, we go through things too, weren't making songs like that.
No.
Okay? Like, this is prior to cities being burnt down to make a point. This is before all that.
Yeah.
She took that song, made it about women. Once again, she said, oh, it's taken out of context, and everyone needs to do a song about their people, like Mexicans should do one, and it'll help change the world. Everything this bitch does, she says, will change the world.
And the fact that she's gotten a wet, like, oh my God, could you imagine if, like, you or, like, somebody you know, like, even, like, a popular female rapper, like, did that? Like, no, what the fuck? Like...
Yeah, dude, I'm just going to say this one time. It's like Bill Burr says, women, no offense, do this because they didn't have to worry about getting their face broken open by doing shit like this when they were kids. If you're a dude and you're in fucking 7th, 8th, 9th, at least when I was growing up, and you would pull some manipulative bullshit or cry wolf or whatever, you're getting the shit beat out of you. You know? So that's part of the fucking problem here, I think. I mean, Candace was right when she said that this woman is out of her mind. She's crazy. That's true. This pattern shows that, but I'm not letting somebody off the hook over that.
No.
You're not going to claim insanity and then allow us to continue to embrace you and continue to get views and dollars and sell merch and all that kind of shit and satisfy your little fucking fetish for fame.
And discuss important topics and whatnot.
Right.
No.
Or just claim that you stand for certain topics but never actually talk about them. That's the thing. She weasels out of things. Like like I said, she hasn't stood up for any conservative values except anti-censorship because she claims that she's been silenced and canceled and all. You were never syndicated. You couldn't be canceled. You're not a canceled TV show. So we will go back to 2018 now. You know, if you take a look at who she was trying to appease and what she was representing in 2018, instead of, and kind of as a backhanded shot to Trump, you know, she had shirts that said, make Americans friends again.
Yeah.
Everybody get along and be all cuddly and shit. She's taking pictures with Snoop Dogg and, you know, she's still on some let's get back to the joke shit. Like as a campaign. You know, she's saying things like, now everybody, before you cancel me, I told offensive jokes in 2009. Nah, bitch, a few months ago you were... Anyway.
Yeah.
You know...
Wants to be relevant still.
September 11th, 2018, she's still cracking jokes on Melania. You know, even though she just criticized Barack and all of the liberal comedians for recycling the same Trump jokes and not getting along for solutions and creating or getting a good candidate to run against him. In other words, you know, you guys are letting me down. And I should also mention that she was actually an active part of the Liberal Party in Canada up until 2020, even though she started riding our coattails like a year and a half before that. And I'll get to that. You know, oh God, this one's bad, dude. To be against the Me Too movement, she brought up how white women back in the day would accuse black men of rape, and it wasn't true, obviously, you know, in those situations. You know, that was part of her justification for it. And she did it in her laughing, joking way. But what she doesn't realize is that laughing, joking way is more offensive than if she approached it like a Ben Shapiro or even a Tommy Lauren or something. When you're making light of it and saying like, well, the reason why I don't represent the Me Too movement is because it wasn't that long ago the white women were crying rape on black men and causing them to get lynched. It's like, yo, That's not that funny.
Yeah.
Especially one of the trending topics at the time is Emmett Till.
Yeah.
The fuck is wrong with
What
you?
the
You just
fuck?
grab any damn headline that serves you.
Yep.
That's some fucked up shit. And then in October 2018, she starts talking kind of political shit because none of the other stuff took flight and everything. And she's talking about, you know, two wings of the same bird as far as the parties. And it's still like people are probably like, "Wait, you're not even American."
Right. Shut up about our politics. Bro.
Now, after all the pandering to the liberals and shit like that, after they kept telling her like, "Yo, dude, you're offensive," blah blah blah. On election night, she does say some shit like, we need to stop saying youngest and woman and gay and black instead of qualified and intelligent and stuff like that. Stuff that I would say, but she's still on that side of things. So it really doesn't make sense. It's like she's feeling herself out, and people do that. But nah.
Not on that level. People
No,
do
not
that
publicly
as they
like
go
that.
through life and they grow and change and stuff. But like you hit adulthood, like you don't. No, not like that. Not searching for like relevance.
God, where is that second Santoro video? Way down the line when nobody cared about her anymore. Somewhere in the part that I was just talking about, where she's still trying to get attention and not sure which side she's riding on because she doesn't know anything about either side. Anyway. She made a second video trying to clear the air about Matthew Santoro and saying that he was the abusive one, she was the victim. The only time that she ever laid hands on him was because he was drunk one night and he was going to go drive. And she gave him a little smack in the face like, "Oh, I'm not letting you do that. You could endanger lives." It's like when somebody's story always like makes them look altruistic
so
or whatever.
Stupid anyway.
Yeah, when it builds them up, it's fucking silly. So she did all of that. She made herself the victim in that situation. Again, nobody cared. Nobody believed her. Oh, and she said that she only dated him, number one, because of her past head injury. In other words, implying I'd have to be crazy to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other reason was her manager got with his manager and said that it would be beneficial to the both of them, but even more for Matthew to work together with her. Now, at the time, Matthew was freaking huge.
Yeah, so that's like a
millions of followers.
blatant fucking
Nobody.
lie,
Yeah.
Like, I have my people get with your people a bit. Like, what people? What management? What? Okay.
Yeah, she claimed that she was big on basically what's the Canadian version of MTV when she had no following at all in music, none. So this is just showing you that, you screw somebody over, they're grown enough or probably felt stupid enough later to not say your name.
Yeah.
So you jump right to like making yourself the victim.
Immediately.
You cry victim that you were censored over a video where you're shaming people, which I actually found funny, but then you flip-flop between like, oh, it was a joke, or I meant it, and this is an important message, and you made yourself a victim again.
You can't turn around and like play that victim mentality bullshit
No.
all the time and then talk shit about the Me Too movement too, like, and act like that's like the same thing.
No.
Like, dude, what the fuck?
It's unbelievable. So, I mean, the beginning of 2019, she's making fun of the wall, but then at the end of the month, she's endorsing it. She still didn't declare at that time that she was separate from the liberals. Now, I'm still trying to figure out what made her make this change, what made her feel okay that this was her audience, what influenced her to know a few of the things that she suddenly knew about what we believe in on our side of things. And it's either when she first found Jordan Peterson online, who would be safe for someone like her because he's not a conservative.
Right.
Or it was when she started fucking Upchurch, which we'll get to. But
That's probably it.
in March of 2019, she started showing up in pictures with guns, trying to be sexy with guns and shit. Went out to a shooting range with some guys and shit.
Yeah, that's the opposite of liberal right there.
But then she made a video in May that was kind of pro-abortion about Alabama saying that abortion is illegal.
Yeah.
But said that Alabama people do incest. criticized our VA for not taking care of soldiers who come home. It's this whole rambling thing.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I don't have a personal answer. At the end of it, she has no opinion. She's still trying to figure out, like, I'm going to judge by the comments. And she talks about analytics when she threw fucking, what's his name under the bus, which we'll get to. Even in June of 2019, as long as, and I forget which show she said, there's some reality TV shows, exist, Trump and AOC are deserved. Meaning, as long as we tolerate this dumb shit, and this makes us happy, you deserve these two extreme, terrible people.
I think she said something like Jersey Shore or something.
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
Yeah.
So, like, in June of 2019, she's still considering Trump to be the devil. But then, in June, this is why I said Peterson. What the left doesn't realize, da-da-da-da-da, and tag Peterson. Fuck. Dude that I look up to like a motherfucker might have helped to create this problem.
Unknowingly.
You know, then she does another Dear Fat People video. Now, you can see what's happening here. Okay? She lost the liberals with the black jokes, and the fat jokes, and just not being funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The View, you know, the whole, like, scandal where she's proven to be a fucking nut job and an abuser.
Yeah, they got over and were like, all
the
right.
Me Too thing, all of that. You know, so she's lost them. So you could see this movement towards like, I maybe should go towards the right because, you know, they're hated right now, but they've got this whole like we're censored thing. And so she starts kind of endorsing a wall at times, got some guns and some pictures, and says something about the Second Amendment, which again, you're Canadian. You know, the abortion thing, I don't know, she flip-flopped on that, but you know what the left doesn't realize, so now it's kind of criticizing the censoring left. You're kind of moving in that way, so you do another Dear Fat People video to say, once again, I'm a victim, I was censored by the left, she starts saying suddenly. You know, and then July, she gives props to Trump for the Kim Jong-un thing, for having peace there. So that's the moment right there. Mm-hmm. So either she's gone, I know she's gone this way for herself, but as far as like influenced and made it make sense in her own head, it's either that Trump thing or Peterson or my dude Upchurch. One of those things.
Yep.
You know, this is when she drops the other Santoro video. And she creates all these things that supposedly people are saying about her. I hate it when people do this. Oh, she was a porn star. Oh, she... something about her makeup. She was fired from a movie. You know, like all of these things that nobody cares. Maybe some commenter or something. Maybe some blog. It means nothing. But it's basically like, look at me. I'm about to do and say some stuff that's really sensational. I might go over to the right. And she starts telling the story about these liberals who called her up, because she's also a celebrity in Hollywood, or to LA, to a zoo where the wildfires were happening, and she claims that it was a publicity stunt, that the animals weren't really burning when they said that they were. They just wanted a news story. It was all set up. God. I think she said Ashley Judd was a part of it.
I forgot about that until right now.
I don't think it ever happened. I hate liberals with every cell of my body, and I can't say that happened because I dug and couldn't find shit. And they were making it a big story. They have those connections to do so. They're in fucking Hollywood. How come we didn't hear about it? But that was her turning point, her emotional, oh my God, I was duped, guys. I was duped. And then she was asked to come on stage, supposedly, at some liberal fucking thing that she was a part of, their party over there in Canada. And supposedly they were telling her what to say and do, so she said, you know what, that's enough. Bullshit. I don't like your dramatic story because it coincides too much with you trying to get attention to your content.
Yeah.
And your content doesn't have anything to do with that message.
Nothing.
So, okay, I can see through it now. It was a little late. But, you know, in October of 2019, fucking Louis C. Gomez, dude. She pulled this garbage, you know, you can watch the footage online where, you know, because she made herself look like an idiot on there, she immediately jumped on the computer at home and made a vlog saying that he made sexual advances at her and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is she's playing the fucking victim in every personal relationship, every professional relationship. It got a little bit old, but see, she thinks she duped us. I should have said that in the intro. She came to people like Candace Owens, who weren't really on top of her shit because she wasn't speaking to conservatives before, and says, yeah, man, like, I'm in the position I'm in right now where I'm about to get canceled because of that Dear Fat People video, just because I told the truth. And even when she's on Candace's show, where now she's being embraced by conservatives, she downplays the shit out of what she said in that. She said calories in, calories out. She was fucking Coach Greg all of a sudden.
That's insane.
When she said they smell like sausages, they sweat just standing there.
It was some pretty insulting shit. Like, yeah, I think it,
funny.
like, it was funny.
It was
was in like a joking manner, you know, like whether she was serious or not. Yeah, it was like in a comedic manner.
Yeah.
That's how it was done. You know, like plenty of people have done things like that.
But we're back to it was for people's health, and I'm just a truth sayer.
Yeah, like come the fuck on, dude. Come on.
Come on, man.
For real.
I don't know. In November of 2019, she called out Christians for not backing Roseanne getting kicked. Dude, it was the fucking conservatives who were all about her keeping her job. She is a Jew. I don't know if maybe that's why you got it mixed up and said Christians went after her. She said she used Judas in the fucking caption. I'm like, really, bitch? Really? But then, you know, she starts finding little kind of sort of conservative free speechy things to latch onto. Like, also in November, Don Cherry said that shit in Canada about the slavery or something. I don't remember exactly what he said. But she backed him. And then, a few months later, February of 2020. Oh, no, we weren't in quarantine yet. Never mind.
Like
she wants to interview Trump.
Yeah.
She says she's going to be the one who interviews politicians and gets to the real issues and isn't partisan. And basically, I'm going to save the world again. And she's kind of sort of endorsing Trump with it, but still, not yet. Not yet. You know, shit, what did she do after that? Oh, here's where things start to change, where conservatives start to actually say, okay, well, I guess we can fuck with this chick. She finally, on Easter of 2020, she, I guess you could say, identified with Jesus in some way, shape, or form. She made, at least in her mind, she made an Easter post and talks about how Jesus stood up to the powers that be and flipped those tables over and basically like, look at me, team, go team. No, go, you are your own team. And to be honest, you're like the only one cheering. So, but anyways, the only time you ever mention Jesus is to elevate yourself.
Yeah.
And the timing of it was amazing too. I mean, I get.
Yeah.
You know, again, marketing.
Mentioning the flipping over of the tables. It's like, dude, you just did exactly the same type of shit in a different way as why he flipped over the tables.
Right.
Like, oh, God.
I swear to God, the last couple of years in America, it's been fucking, what is it, Bizarro World and Superman where everything's backwards. In May of 2020, she goes on Dave Rubin's show. Supposedly she's a free thinker, you know, anti-left. Still not right, but anti-left.
Truth speaker.
And in May also, she calls out Jimmy Kimmel for reporting fake news on Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's like where she's kind of aligned officially. Now, the reason I went through all of that, and I'm sorry if you couldn't follow all of it, was to paint the picture that all she does is try to draw attention to herself. Now, I know some people are watching going, well, of course that's what she does. But no, she does it in a fucking malicious way. She knows exactly what she's doing. She is a good marketer. And what she's doing is she's playing on people's, not just emotions, but their issues.
Yeah, the things that they're passionate about.
Micro-marketing, all that stuff is fine. But when you start doing it based on race or oppression, which she was doing early on with the liberals. You know, she even had a hoodie. I forgot about that. Like, not long before she switched to conservative, she had a hoodie that said, "I met God and she's a black woman." Wow. And she sold the shit out of them. But liberals and people of color still didn't embrace her. So she made this turn. And when you start playing with people's race, sexual preference, or whatever it is, when you start trying to represent that just to get attention, that's where you fucked up.
Yeah, big time.
That's where you really fucked up, because there are passionate people on both sides of things. It just so happens that on this side, we really ride for our beliefs.
Yeah.
You know, we don't care if the media backs it. We don't care if it costs us a job. We don't care if it makes us money, costs us money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I need the rock in there. But, yeah, so I know there's more that I could say as far as her background. But what I'm showing you guys is that this is a person who latches onto any person that she can. And it's bad enough when you latch onto people or causes or anything to get what you want, which with her is just attention. I mean, sure, it's a little bit of money, I would guess, but it's attention. And so she's tried every single attitude, like anti-IG model, but then kind of like the opposite of that, like show off what you got and, you know, get the attention you deserve. You know what I mean? Like she's gone with the whole like blacks are oppressed, you know, God's a black woman, to, you know, everything shouldn't be about race. You know, in that Dear Black People thing, she actually equated the black struggle and appropriating black culture to eating pickles. Like, oh, next time you eat a pickle, that's Polish. You're appropriating my culture.
Oh, God.
And I'm part Polish. Don't claim Polish until I see the paperwork. I don't believe anything you say about anything. But yeah, you've got a person here who latches onto anything. And it's starting to get to where we're letting people in who shouldn't be a part of what we do or what we represent. Because like you said earlier, it's a fight. We can't have people on our side that are going to switch up, not just when things get hectic, but switch up if they think that something over there is going to benefit them.
Right.
Like if all of a sudden, whoever the liberal Congress of the fucking world is, you know, you take fucking AOC and throw her in a room, you take, I don't know, fucking Kimmel or somebody. I don't even know. I can't stand any of them. They're all equally fucking terrible to me, so I can't even name them.
Yep.
Throw Colbert or somebody in it. I don't fucking know. Whoever these liberal idiots are. And yeah, I actually say that. I don't just pussyfoot around it. Oh, I'm sorry. That was satire. Anyways. Put all of the liberal Congress together. Put Jay-Z in there and Beyonce and everybody else, you know. Put Hillary Clinton in there. Put Barack. That's their fucking god. Put Barack in there, right?
There you go.
And they all take her back. They all say she's wonderful. There's no way in fucking hell she'll ride with conservatives again. Ever again.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's nothing for her to gain at that point that she can't get more of over there, which is, like we said, attention.
Yep.
So that's the main issue with her here. I want to kind of sum it up with a couple of things. As far as letting someone in or letting them have a voice or even just allowing outsiders to think that they're a conservative, even if we're not saying they are or if we're not accepting her. Just remember, she's never mentioned Christ except that one time. She's never backed law enforcement. Not one time. She's never had a real opinion on abortion. She's never talked about liberal spending. She never was anti-illegal immigration. There was the one time where she said the wall was needed, but outside of that. She's never spoken about family values, the type of family values that conservatives believe in. She's never talked about say fossil fuels or whether or not certain land should be appropriated to certain people. She's never talked about freedoms other than the freedom of speech. She's never talked about capitalism.
Nope.
Trickle down economics. So what I'm saying is that you could take all the bullet points that it means to be a fucking conservative, and the only one that she ticks off is free speech, and it's only because that's her ticket to get attention to say my speech was silenced. Me too. That's exactly what that is. All these people claiming that things happen to them that downplay what actually happens to people who are silenced. You are literally the Me Too of people expressing themselves.
Yeah.
Straight up. That's exactly what you are. And I know that, if this idiot, she's narcissistic as hell. She will watch this video.
Good.
She'll probably address us, but not by name. I don't care. Because like I said at the beginning of this is about representing a certain set of values. It's a fight. It's a very important time in our country's history and our world's history, because we are technically, supposedly, the gold standard of what a country is supposed to be. No offense, Canada.
And
But
we're not doing a very good job right now.
no. She's never talked about a single thing that would lean right, other than the anti-censorship thing. And I know, like I said, there's a lot of probably conservatives watching this, or even people that don't know the situation, saying, well, who cares? She only reaches so many people. She's not considered a political pundit. That's true, but when you tie yourself to a certain movement, like you said, you become kind of a face of it to at least some people.
Yeah, for sure.
And those values or lack thereof, or what that movement is about, out of your mouth starts to leak into the belief system of everybody.
100%.
Within the outside, meaning the people who we actually need to, the people who aren't brainwashed and completely left, the people who are kind of in the center, not knowing what to do. They're basically going to see Nicole Arbour and be like, well, okay, it's anti-censorship, but she's also kind of a bitch. She's also a liar. And I've heard that a lot of Republicans were liars. I heard a Republican president or two were liars. So that scares them away right there. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand that it's real touchy representing this side of things.
It's dangerous nowadays.
You could say that it's touchy representing the other side too, but it's really not, because like the mainstream media is on your side.
You're accepted far
Absolutely.
more. Like, and people, always have a tendency to do that bandwagon shit, whether it's for, a team in the Super Bowl or, politics and things going on in the world. And, if everybody is like, all we are saying is give peace a chance. If we're going back to that, okay, a bunch of people are going to jump on board with that, and they'll go parade behind freaking Biden if he's saying that or whatever. People are going to...
If he could get the sentence out.
Yeah, no shit. People are... That's just what they do. They follow the leader or
it's
whoever
memetics.
is around
it's like
them.
a meme.
Yeah, it's like the lemmings that, you see in the little thing about the lemmings where they follow each other off the cliff to their death.
True.
I know it's not actually true about the real animals.
I just want people to know.
But, the cartoon lemmings following each other off the cliff to die. And then, the ones that stay behind are like, looked at like, oh my God, you're crazy, you're stupid, why would you do that? What the hell's wrong with you? Like, here, I'm going to fight you and yank you down there with me, That's like what we are.
And here's the thing,
like,
I'm all about conflict resolution. I don't just come on here to rant. I call it rants. I call it complaints, or just expressing myself. But that's not really what this is. I think that anybody who has a bigger voice, which is damn near fucking anybody in the conservative movement, is a bigger voice than me, needs to hold this chick accountable, or at least vet her. Check her, ask her what her real beliefs are.
Yeah.
Have her explain them. Let's see if she can form coherent answers. Not try to have her and her manager write what would be said, like what she sent to Candace Owens. Again, you have to watch that video in the description. And we need to ask ourselves in this movement, as far as allowing people to represent it, or at least benefit from pandering to it, I guess you'd say. What do we get? meaning she gets a new fan base, the only ones that are left. Like, the conservatives are kind of like the last phone number a guy has in his fucking phone on a Saturday night when he's horny and drunk.
Yeah.
It's the ugly bitch.
Oh, God.
And he doesn't even call her. He texts her.
Should I text her, what are you doing to her at 2 a.m.? Oh, God, I don't know.
That's what we are to her. Or else she would have professed something at some point before it suited her. I mean, I'm tired of. She's playing victim in a lot of these situations, and even as she would say, that ain't us. That ain't the conservative side of things.
Right.
It's actually the antithesis of what we stand for. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm tired. What I was actually going to say right there that was very important is that I would like for her to make a video. And don't even go ask her these questions. I would like a video from her just stating what we see as fact, that she's not a conservative per se, that she just believes in free speech, she's anti-left. There may be one or two other things that she'll come around to in conservatism, rather than doing this kind of passive-aggressive coattail thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to latch on to this movement and stuff, but I'm never really going to commit myself to it.
She is a
Never going to call you my boyfriend is kind of what it is.
She's the definition of a clout chaser.
Wow, that's true.
She is literally the type that, whatever kind of issue is going on, she is going to latch onto that and run with it and, try to make herself look more important than the issue itself.
Yeah.
Like, over
and over again, no matter how important the issue is, and then fall back on the, well, I was making a joke.
Yeah.
Don't censor me. Haha.
Right.
Like, then you'll make me a victim.
I'm fighting for your rights.
She's a pre-victim. And what I mean by that is, like, you're gonna victimize me. Everyone look at me. They're gonna victimize me.
She carries her own chalk around to draw the fucking chalk outline on the ground. I know several people like that. So she's definitely one of them.
Somebody needs to kick out the chair. Like, she's basically got her head in the rope, and somebody needs to come by and kick out the chair. As Jay-Z said, I think about in Death Autotune at one point.
Yeah.
That's pretty much wraps that topic up. It's just...
It's frustrating.
Just like we and, millions of other people saw certain things coming with our rights being taken away from us, it's kind of the slippery slope thing, or things snowball, quote unquote. I see more of this happening. I see more people who get ousted by the left kind of coming over to this side. Like, no, I always loved you, and kind of pushing up.
I've been a day one fan forever.
Right.
I got your stuff on vinyl.
Vinyl. It's vinyl that's actually made with avocado. Like, they take avocado and press it with heat.
You had to been there.
Sounds like a real thing.
Yeah.
A little canuba wax, a little patchouli scent.
Oh yeah.
No, but I mean, it will get worse. Is what I mean. Because
there's more and more of these people, and I don't. That's the worst thing. Is like somebody, and I'm not saying that I'm not okay with people that if they do have like a real shift, like being like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, like Dave Rubin.
Yeah, like
Tim
I realize I need to be on this side. Yes, Tim Pool is my favorite example.
She's made herself as though she's one of those, like them.
And that's so insulting to them.
Now, she never said it, so she's off the hook.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I will say that she is a fucking genius with manipulation, with marketing, but people are reasonably intelligent these days. I will give it to the population, because a lot of people, well, you know what, I don't think that they didn't just didn't fall for her and they're smart enough to see through it. I think they didn't care.
Yeah.
She was a non-issue.
Like, okay, who is this girl? Okay,
right.
Whatever.
Oh, that's that Santoro guy's bitch? Oh, yeah, it looks like she's lying. Yeah, I hate to say it, bitch, but you were kind of victimized in that situation. Well, if you would have been a victim, you'd be victimized by the public, because they would have sided with him, because they're like, who the fuck is she?
Yeah.
She's clout chasing just being with him. Look how she made this video right away. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like I always say that, you know, back in the day, like let's say Ja Rule and them would have lyrically just destroyed Eminem and everybody on that side of things. Impossible. Well, let's just say that happened. It wouldn't have been that way in the eyes of the public.
No.
Nobody would
never.
have ever said, you know, that they won. It was like, you know, those guys were not cool anymore.
Like, that's sounds like the election.
Yeah, there you go. So I want people to be cautious with, and again, she's not somebody huge, but she has millions of followers. Couple million, whatever it is. That's a respectable number. I'll give that to her. Even though, as what's his name, Luis C. Gomez pointed out, most of them are just thirsty ass guys that are just like, I agree with everything you say. You have big tits, hey.
Right.
They're like, God, I hate that men are so fucking weak like that, dude. I mean, you could tell her she has nice tits or something and not agree with everything she fucking says. There's no women that actually respect that, by the way.
No.
It makes you a fucking beta bitch,
That's
is what it makes
simp
you.
ass fucking, yeah.
A puppy dog.
Some stupid shit.
So we need to be careful because, you know, the next person may have 500,000 followers in a different age group. Or maybe the next person has 10 million followers and they're in every age group.
And they tell you to drink cyanide. Like, you know.
Right.
I mean,
And Nicole paved the way.
Right.
She changed the world. Now she can interview the president.
Yeah.
She can interview Biden.
I mean, that'd be hilarious because, you know, he couldn't finish a fucking sentence.
And I'll tell you this right now, dude. If he even gave her the slight feeling that she could have some sort of job relating to the White House or something,
boom,
she'd be a liberal
she'd be
tomorrow.
Liberal. Yeah.
I think she'd do something for it, too. But she's way too old for him. Like, if she had a daughter, like, today, she could present her daughter in, like, 6 months.
Okay, here we go.
Creepy Joe! I mean, I hope that I wasn't... I mean, I know I tried to cram her entire life's timeline into a relatively short video, and it was probably too much. And I know that a more professional fucking podcaster, vlogger, whatever, would have just given you the bullet points. But I come from the school of Joe Rogan, long-form interviews and long-form podcasts where you actually consider that the people listening want to actually know what the hell you're talking about, not just jump on to the, you know, the equivalent of a headline.
Yeah.
Or, you know, just a bullet
some
point.
Clickbait.
Yeah, I believe that there are people out there who want to form an opinion just based on information.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing I gave was an opinion. Well, if I gave an opinion, you guys fucking know it.
Well, yeah.
You know, like,
You know.
I think that everything else I outlined is actual truth. You know, it's verifiable. You know, the Candace Owens thing, good God, I won't even get into that because Candace handled that on her own. Anybody who doesn't see what Nicole pulled there, you just don't want to see it. You just don't like Candace.
Yeah, you're just
Or you're
confusing to watch. Like
you're
rose-colored glasses type of bullshit.
yeah. Or you're seriously mentally incapable of
Well,
you
then
know,
you shouldn't watch any of this shit
complex
at all.
thought, you know.
Yeah.
You lack the facilities, whatever the
For
fuck.
abstract
Yeah,
thought.
there you go. I had that all fucked up.
Oh, brother, where art thou? We love that movie.
Yeah, we do. It's a great movie, and it's based on the Odyssey by Homer.
Yes.
Verb reads books.
Yeah, when you were in jail for meth, you fell outside of that meth house, which, you know, fucking never happened. But, yeah.
That one's still...
Anyway,
I hate when you
just-
bring that up, because I always have to, like, sit here and clarify, like, okay, number one, that's based on some idiots trying to
I'm
say something
sorry,
negative
it
about
just
me.
makes me freaking crack up.
And the reason it makes us crack up is because out of all the drugs I've been around in my life, out of all the drugs I did back in the day, out of all the drugs I sold,
They picked the one.
that's the one that didn't fucking exist in my world.
Yeah.
It didn't exist in Metro Detroit, like from,
Yeah.
you know, 1990 until, like, I don't know, 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. But, you know, people twist and turn things. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
But she continues to find groups of people who support, you know, like, as much as information travels fast these days, it kind of doesn't pass from person to person, because if somebody gets hip to her bullshit, they don't go tell somebody about it, because by the time they go to tell somebody about it, there's 10 other stories.
Mm-hmm.
She's not important enough. You see what I'm saying? Like, somebody like Trump was important enough to always be at the top of the list of things that they're going to pass on to the next person they spoke to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as obviously that was a very bad thing for him. And, you know, everything was controlled by his opposition. So, you know, it was going to stay alive forever. Hers dies in minutes.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking cares. But, like I said, it would just empower more people to come over to our side to, you know, co-sign someone like this, or to even let somebody... I mean, I almost feel like people with a big conservative voice should go to any post she has on Instagram. She don't even do YouTube videos anymore. She was run off of that shit like 6 years ago. But, you know, or Instagram or whatever other shit she does. I think that big conservative voices need to jump on any post that she does that has anything to do with something remotely right-leaning and say the right as it's defined today does not co-sign this person to represent us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the views and, you know.
Yeah, it's like a disclaimer.
They're not shared.
On
Yeah.
one of the TV
Give her a
shows.
disclaimer. Hit her with the asterisk, dude, like she did steroids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like...
And right now, we are in, you know, a time where a lot of people are lost. People are very lost. Our country's lost. People are very lost. So they are looking more now than ever for somebody to gravitate to like, to be able to watch, that they might be able to, you know, feel like they relate to in some way or whatever.
That's why I gave her the props that time. I said, like, Ben Shapiro turns people who aren't completely conservative off. You know, and I went through a list.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Jordan Peterson is a little too intellectual, makes people feel stupid. You know, and I kept going through a list of people who are anti-left and who lean to the right.
Right.
And I got to her, and I said, well, she's got a goofy personality that appeals to younger people.
Can, like, relate to it, you know.
She's not drilling, like, biblical values into you. She's not taking a hard stance on anything.
It seems
so
like,
they'll follow her.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's safe.
You know, just be mindful, especially right now during this, I hate saying, like, during this day and age, because it just sounds like cliche old bullshit. But, like, right now, during everything that is going on in our world around us right now, be mindful and cautious of what you are allowing to, you know, enter your brain. Like, what you are allowing yourself to take in.
Yeah, people think it was over with the election.
Yeah, no, not even close. You know, like, be mindful of, like, who you are holding on a little higher of, you know, a plane or a pedestal, and, you know, just be mindful of that.
Here,
be
Nicole,
careful,
like, what do you think
cautious.
of outsourcing jobs? What do you think of critical race theory? What do you think about the Bible in schools? What do you think about flying the pride flag at federal buildings? You know, what do you think about open carry? What do you think about anything remotely conservative?
Yeah.
If you've got an answer for all of those and you're right-leaning and it's real and you can give real-life experience that isn't some made-up bullshit, hey, fine, come on over.
Yeah, what do you think about the Constitution? Let's hear it. For real, for real.
I mean, I think that she really thought that she was going to be in this kind of triumvirate or something. She thought, you know, at the top of conservative female voices, she was going to be up there with Candace Owens and Tommy Lauren.
Yeah, that's what.
McEnany is another one. She should just run for president. I mean, she's, to this day, this chick still hasn't 100% endorsed the Republican Party, which is interesting. And I'm sure, you know, the cop-out to that is, you know, I'm Canadian. I wouldn't disrespect you guys by playing into your politics. It's
right.
like,
I'm
dude,
not
that's
really
the only
going
thing people know you for
party
now.
Here. I'm just, you know,
Wings of the same bird.
Okay, you know, we can all freaking say that for so, like, at some point I said that. You know, like, we all wanted to say that, okay, both sides are corrupt. Yes, they are, but you know what? At some point, you gotta fucking pick where you stand.
You know what,
You
where I'm
got
kind
to.
of fucking, like, proud of the general public is she hasn't become, like, a real star.
No.
And usually people do with this clickbaity
Quickly,
fucking...
yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because, God, even, like, I would say, like, even a Kardashian has some substance to what they say, because at least they're, you know, entrepreneurs, kind of, sort of. They make money. We'll just say
it's
that.
money.
They make money.
Money and lifestyle.
I will say this. There's all this bad that I outlined. Oh, and we didn't even say about wrongfully accusing Ryan Upchurch of sexual assault.
Oh, yeah, that too, you know.
No, I'm sorry, not sexual assault. That was the other guy. Wait. That was the Louis Gomez thing. Oh my God, she's got so much shit.
Yeah, God. Okay, so the
with Upchurch, it was the
thing.
wallet thing.
Yeah.
You know, this whole stupid drama.
There's videos on that. You can
Yeah,
look
he
up,
has all the
yeah.
receipts on this whole thing, the whole text thread. He showed it. You know, it's so silly that, you know, she tried to make it like he was creating this whole conflict to promote an album.
It's
where
insane.
actually she was like, please don't leave, come back. And he's like, nah, man, you said some shit that hurt me. So she played this game and wouldn't give him his wallet back for days. His manager couldn't get it. His mom couldn't get it. Nobody could get it. So eventually he had to send the police to get it. And she makes up this story. Oh my God, man.
It's despicable.
Jesus Christ. It's totally despicable.
It's
and
pathetic.
It really is. It's like just for attention too, man. But what I'm saying is you have all this bad that I just outlined. Where's the good? What does she offer, not just conservatives, but what does she offer, period?
Any of these freaking things she's jumped on. You know what she reminds me of? Like, real quick. If you've ever seen the movie Fight Club, where, you know, he goes to the freaking support groups.
Oh, God.
That's what you're
I just saw a clip from that tonight, and holy shit, it was that clip where he's like, so you're in testicular cancer.
Yeah. That
what's her
is
name?
what she reminds me of.
Just grabbing onto anything.
Mm-hmm.
Do you got testicular cancer, Nicole? You know, I'm waiting for her to say she's trans or some shit. Like, she's running out of things to cling to.
Oh, that's coming next. Yeah, that's coming next.
I mean, it's getting absolutely ridiculous, but you're not going to... We're laughing about it, but you're not going to get ridiculous at the expense of conservatives or would-be conservatives or people who just don't know better.
Yeah.
Because there's always that chance also that you're going to make us look bad.
Yes.
And as everyone knows, you know, people make us
look like the fucking devil to everyone.
That we're painted that way.
Yeah.
And, you know, don't give them more ammunition. I mean, to be honest, if you really love the values of conservatives, people on the right, you should step back. Mm-hmm. You should step back and just do comedy. It has nothing to do with politics. Try to do comedy, whatever the fuck it is. You're not funny. I'm sorry. You did one funny video. Dear Fat People is the only funny thing you've ever done. And I gave you the benefit of the doubt. She knows it. I was like, yeah, she's entertaining. She's coming into her own. It's cool to have somebody.
Yeah, he's the one that showed me. I was like, okay, yeah.
I'm a fucking dummy sometimes, you know, because like many other conservatives right now, I would like to see more people openly share their views, which I thought she was doing. But like I said, when I really sat down and thought about it, I'm like, damn, she hasn't really...
Like, actually opened up and, like, you know, on a serious issue, like, yo, this is what it is, and this is how
just like the left did me wrong.
You know?
And fuck censorship. I mean, to be honest, anybody who's not just American, but who's a first world human being should be like, fuck censorship.
Yeah.
I mean, whoopee, you know?
I mean, do we
to be honest, many liberals are all about that.
Do we need Twisted Sister, you know, to come back out?
And Fresh Kid Ice too.
Right, yes, exactly.
So, other than that, peep them Fauci emails though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Don't let that story die.
You know, yeah.
Don't let it die.
Keep your eyes open and please, you know, like, there's that whole like saying of like reading the writing on the wall. Okay, well, read the typing in the fucking emails. It is there. It is real. It is available for you to see, and it's not fabricated.
No.
So go read it.
He's never said they're not real.
Yeah.
He just says, no, they're taken out of context and blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
huh? Sounds like fucking Nicole Arbour.
Yeah, they're one and the same.
Read them, okay?
I mean, to be honest, all you liars should get together and call it like the Liars Club or something and like do a podcast, and you would entertain us and you would make money.
You would. You so
I
would.
promise you would.
Yep.
It would be fucking hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like T.K. Kirkland, how he was there for everything that ever happened in the history of hip-hop or movies and everything.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like the butt end of a joke, but he's still paid to come on Blood because of that.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And Johnny Russo's the same fucking situation. Oh, he fucked Marilyn Monroe and lost his virginity to her. You know, all these weird fucking things. Get all you liars together, you know. Get Fauci, get fucking Nicole. God, she's not even fucking important enough.
She's not important enough.
But like I said, it could lead to more important people down the road fucking feeling like they can do the same thing with our audience, I'll call it.
Not fair.
Not people watch us, I mean just like conservative audience. And, you know, I'm not some, I mean, yes, in music and even on the podcast, I do represent the right. But I'm not like a far right.
We're not
such
right
and such.
wing
Trust them
nuts.
something different.
Okay, yes.
A God-fearing, gun-toting patriot from Michigan. That's John Cash's shit from our song. But no, I mean, we're just realistic about things.
Yeah.
We lay it out there exactly what parts of conservatism that we believe in.
Yeah.
What we think is maybe too extreme.
What we stand for and what we don't stand for.
I always say that I am actually what they call a classical liberal. I believe Dave Rubin says he's too. And meaning, socially, I don't care what you do. I'm totally socially liberal. I'm basically, I'm a fiscal conservative. But yet, you know, people only see in extremes. When I say I'm all about whatever you want, you know, as far as the social part of it, I'm completely liberal. Do what you want to do. Be who you are. You don't deserve to be attacked by anyone. The government also shouldn't cater to who you are.
No.
Especially not at the expense of other people sometimes, but they shouldn't, you know, cater to you, you know, create months for you.
Like not saying that you should in any way be oppressed or hurt like that or at all. You know, you should be protected just like any other normal human being would be protected.
Any group.
You know, any group of people.
Actually, I thought America was about being like, excuse me, an individual, not even a group. I always say this, when you come to America, you're an American now. Yeah. You know what I mean? All that hyphen shit don't mean a damn thing. Mm-mm. The only reason I stand for the hyphen shit at times is because I say that my people deserve to be hyphen too. But honestly, who gives a shit? It does not matter. Were some people oppressed more than others? Absolutely. Is it time to move past that? Have we proven that we can move past it? Have we done things that no other country has ever come close to doing for those people to make them feel that it's an equal ground? Yes. Mm-hmm. We've done so much in such a short amount of time. Relative. I always tell people this, and then we'll start getting out of here. I always tell people that when they start feeling bad about, okay, America hasn't made things right with this group of people, or we should be further along in this way, or if I was in charge, I would change the way we treat such and such. I say, look at the human history of the world. Look at every major civilization. You find me one that made 10% of the positive societal change in the amount of time that our country has existed, and I don't have many, but I'll give you all my possessions and everything in the bank. If you could find me a country who's done that, on that level.
True. The United States of America is we're on a whole other level than any other country in the whole world. You know, we really truly are as far as that goes.
You know, and something about, you know, as far as her coming from Canada, I learned recently, I'm still learning, that all of Canada has been deadlocked for a very long time, whereas every province has the same political party. It's the Liberal Party of Canada. Kind of the equivalent of all of our states maybe being under a Liberal governor and, you know, under Liberal control. Someone who comes from a country like that would have a lot to say about politics normally, especially in terms of American politics, when you've lived in that situation where province to province, group of people to group of people, you are completely controlled by one narrative.
Yeah.
You know, you get exposed to America, you're doing red carpet, you know, all of these types of things. You start talking about American politics. If I were you, I mean, yes, she has given Prosper the opportunities that America's provided her, but everybody does because they all come use us.
Yeah.
But just, you know, maybe take a look at that stuff. Like, take a look at the fact that, you know, the contrast, I'm saying, between your country and this one. Oh my God, look at all the freedoms, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing. And oh my God, it's beautiful that there's two sides to everything. Instead of complaining that there's two sides that fight with each other. Sorry, I stumbled there for a minute. Instead of complaining that there's two sides that fight with each other, why aren't you saying something along the lines of, man, you know, where I'm from, there aren't two sides.
We're not allowed to have that.
Yeah, we're not allowed to have that. You would think that someone who comes from that and supposedly sees the light, you know, that side of things isn't always right, would have a lot to say. They'd be like, oh my God, now that I think about it, we were controlled in every way, not just expressing ourselves as artists or you know, vloggers or whatever, but we were controlled as far as how COVID was happening, where we could travel, and blah, 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 you know, our social issues, our laws, you know, pronouns, you know, whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, none of that, because you didn't care about politics. You're a part of the Liberal Party of Canada because it was the only party. And then when the Liberals elsewhere saw exactly what the fuck you're about, you had to latch onto somebody else.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're going to hang on tight because there is no other group left. That I will assure you, you know, I brought up ICP earlier.
Mm-hmm.
If you're familiar with ICP, you know, the whole Juggalo thing, you know, you really got into their shit when you were a teenager. Maybe even a young adult. Maybe again as a later adult because you're like nostalgia or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, you got out of them when you were like 20.
Yeah.
Me, it was earlier than that, but you know, you got out of that. And you thought that thing was over with, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then there's a whole new batch of them. You know, now there's the new 14-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
And they latch onto it, and they hold on till they're 20. And as soon as they realize, like, you know, this is just kind of childish, I got different tastes in this, the luster wore off, there's another group. That's what this bitch keeps doing. There's always another group of people. It's usually led by, like we said before, some thirsty-ass men. And, you know, you start coming up in that algorithm from all those comments from those thirsty men, too. So I see what she is, what she's doing. Will she ever run out of groups of people? I don't know. But hopefully videos like this one will help to see to it that those other people are already hip to it.
Yeah.
Like, I've asked around. I asked people, like, from my son's age all the way up to fucking truck drivers that deliver to my job. And most people don't know who she is. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know,
sure.
that's a very good thing. So, I mean, she doesn't have that much pull or anything like that. But, preemptively, let's shut people like this down. Let's make sure that they don't have a voice. In fact, I mean, if you pay attention to what we do, I don't really jump on board with every political issue, even that's strong on the side of conservatism.
Mm-hmm.
Only the ones that I believe that you guys need to hear about, or that I'm extremely passionate about, or most importantly, very knowledgeable about. I'm not going to speak about some shit I don't know about.
Yeah.
So I'm not even a person who considers himself to be a speaker on behalf of the party or anything like that.
Right. No, not at all.
But yet, as somebody who does do it a little bit, and somebody who does give a shit, and somebody who is the intended audience, the consumer will say, I can walk, I'm in the middle of that, so I can see things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
You know, like with a little bit more knowledge of, wait a minute, like, I'm nobody, but yet I wouldn't even approach this that way. There's something weird here.
Exactly.
Even though as like a regular fan, I'm kind of like, oh, that's cool. You know, it's kind of like me with music. Like, I'll listen to somebody and go, man, I could have spit that a lot better.
Uh-huh.
But then the other side of me is going, well, you know, it's better than most of the other shit that I hear, and I'm kind of supposed to like it. Everybody else does. You know, lighten up. See it through a fan's eyes. Same type of thing. I can see it both ways. You know, so... And yeah, that's appropriate for Pride Month. We should not have a month that is dedicated to who a group of people has sex with.
Yeah.
I know that trans has been tied into it and all that kind of stuff. We shouldn't even have a movement for that. But I'm saying we shouldn't have a month that's basically tied around... Like, if your kid asks, you know, your 4 or 5-year-old asks you, like, what's with the rainbow flag? Who does that represent? That represents gay people. What are they? Well, they're people that like to have sex with people of the same sex. So what is sex? We don't need that fucking conversation.
I already had to explain some of it to my 7-year-old.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's fucking silly. We don't need a month. First of all, we didn't victimize these people that damn bad. You know, Black History Month, I'm cool with.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it's like, yes, okay, gay people, you know, lesbians and the whole... I'm sorry, whatever the rest of the LGBTQ plus whatever is. Yeah, they've definitely been victimized at points. However, you know, it's not the same. And, okay, you know, I'm sorry that you were victimized. But I just don't think we need a whole month for it. Like,
no, it's the same shit where
don't.
it's the weird thing where it's like, yo, you know, a little handful of Americans might have sort of kind of abused these people, so let's try to make things even.
Yeah.
By giving them a month.
I mean, Black
Fuck
History
that.
Month,
Get the fuck out of
you know,
here.
like, what we used to learn about, but, you know, our kids are supposed to be learning about, like, Martin Luther King and, like, you know, like, everything that was
Next
going on.
Next it's going to be whatever gay person
you know,
first came out.
And, like,
you know, the mayor in San Francisco
you know,
back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's like, does it really... Jesus,
I don't know. I just...
Group them in with... You know, my boss always says that eventually it's going to be like Civil Rights Month. Or Civil Rights Day. You're going to group it all together because you start running out of fucking groups to represent. But, you know... represent for the gay leaders who came out in public and stuff like that and risked a lot. Represent them, you know, in a paragraph along with other people who maybe risked their livelihoods or even their lives for their beliefs. It's not just gay people, but that's the only ones we really hear about.
Give them a day.
You know, how about Meriwether Lewis? Let's have I think they have like a Discoverer's Day or something like that. But there should be like a month for the guy who basically went out and surveyed and got us the other half of the country. But hey, whatever. You know, all I'm saying is that fucking this month revolves around who people have sex with. If people don't see something wrong with that, we really are like too far gone. Like, we are. I don't know any other way to say
People fight that, like, oh, you know, it's like, it's not about the sex part, like, it's their identity, you know, and it's like, okay.
You shouldn't make your sexuality your identity.
But, like,
I don't.
Like, I accept you just fine. I do. I accept you.
Man, I don't give a shit what the fuck you do.
You know, like, I know that goes against, like, a lot of, you know, religious beliefs, a lot of, you know, beliefs that people have in that aspect, but
I don't think
it
does. I think you're supposed to pray for those people.
Some it does.
You're not supposed to,
know.
like, fucking outcast them.
No, I know that, but you know, some
stone them or
but
something.
you know, some religions do.
Oh, you mean the other major religion?
Well, yeah, because
No. The other one is like super pander to, you know, women can't drive, you know, you can't be gay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
There's that one. That's the religion of peace.
Well, okay, yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all, it's true. Go look at their fucking laws, man. Like, go look at what happens over there. Stop living in the liberal bubble. Like, take a look at it. And again, I'm not even a person that fucking cares that much. Like, I have enough on my plate in America which is fucking strange. I shouldn't. I should have the time to sit there and pay attention to the victims of things overseas, because technically we got it pretty good over here. But people keep making problems out of shit that's not problems. That's what we do. We're spoiled.
Yeah.
We are spoiled.
You know, like COVID.
Yeah.
You know.
You pay attention to that.
Read those fucking emails, people.
Read the emails.
Please.
And, you know, make sure you listen to Burn Loop Murder. Watch the video, I should say.
Yes.
Watch the video.
A great song.
No budget on the video, just dedication and skills.
Yeah.
I would say it like that.
I filmed it.
And I'm going to edit it, and it'll look good when it's done.
Yes.
A lot of passion behind it. Going to be a lot more music like that, because I will come out and say everything that I believe in, because I think it's vital that we do that.
Absolutely. 100%.
Everybody's supposed to have a voice now. Why can't we have ours?
Yeah.
We're always made to be treated as though ours discriminates against people, but unpatriotic people?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
And we're not telling them they can't talk. Like, go ahead, say what you got to say. You know, we'll argue. But in that argument, nobody's really the aggressor or the oppressor. It's two different points of view. It's an argument. And then it turns into who can create the best propaganda to push their point. Unfortunately, it hasn't been us. But
a lot of us, and I mean, I'd say us, but I mean, like, artists, especially, like, you know, him and John Cash, for example, you know, you start to make music like that, and, like, I feel like, you know, you could be writing it, and, like, you know, you've done it in front of me before, like, you're writing it, or, like, saying something off the top of the head, and then you're like, ooh, you know, and I'm like, ooh, God, you know, should we be afraid to say that? And it's like, no,
not at all.
And now
this is something Nicole can get behind. No censorship.
Now is the motherfucking time.
But I'm going to tell you what you can and can't use of my quotes that were public in the interview with Candace Owens. But hey, no censorship.
All right, now is the time to stop being afraid to stand up for what you believe in. You're not hurting anybody else by doing so.
To be honest, like, it's always been the time.
I know.
It's gotten important because we haven't done it.
It definitely has always been the time. It's just like
make up for
right now.
Time.
It's like now or never type shit, you know. So yeah, I'm really proud of him. I'm really proud of John. I'm really proud of the song. I'm very, very picky.
Appreciate that.
And I don't give props, like, you know, a lot. Even to music I like, I don't always give props. But like, even if it's him, if it's something I think it's whack, I'll tell him I think it's whack. You know, like, I'm not biased like that. It's a great fucking song. It's a great song, and the video is gonna be dope as hell. So make sure you check that out. Burn Loop Murder.
Yes.
Video dropping Friday, June 11th.
It was my God's honest that I was all about a non-violent approach, but it seemed truth is a non-topic. So all discussions are now silenced. It's cold, so I'm shearing these sheep's wool. You don't know the next part. Self-sustainment, 2 chambers of hot logic. Yeah, that's where it's at. Video Friday. Any other news? We got Nicole, we got Fauci, we got Burn Loop Murder.
Yeah.
We got the 1996 album. Go out and get that.
Yeah.
Donverb.com, or I mean, yeah, you can stream the shit out of it. You know, leave it on repeat. So after it plays for about 60, 70 days, I'll get like 4 cents.
If you're
Appreciate
close to us,
let people know though.
We got physical copies.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we got physical copies.
Yeah.
We got some Minivan musician merch that I haven't shared a link to in a really long time that I should probably put in the description. If I don't, give us a holler about it. I think you would like it. Mm-hmm. People ask questions, what the hell is that? You know?
Yeah, we're about to embark on one of the biggest adventures of our whole life, so...
I'll just say it, we moving.
Stay tuned.
We're moving to North Carolina.
So get them hard copies while you can.
Swing your shirt around your head like a helicopter.
Oh, Lord.
We move into a place that dealt with an issue pretty well. We're moving to Elizabeth City. There was one of these police shootings there, and after a few days of protesting and making a point, and everybody's sides being heard and truth coming out and everything, and went away because people cared about their community. Mm-hmm. You kind of have both sides. You actually, it seems like you have a really good mayor who is a person of color there. which is great. Actually, a really cool story behind her, you know, and yeah, I can say that even though I'm from the other party, you know what I'm saying? It's not against the law or anything. And, you know, it brings us really close to the Outer Banks, where we've done a little bit of the vacation stuff on here as far as the vacation vlogs, but there's another one that I'm finally going to finish. I keep talking about finishing, new shit comes up. But the burn, loot, murder thing had to get done. I only have so much fucking time, so it is what it is. But, you know, peep those videos out too. They're on our channel. We got playlists where it's like we got vacation type stuff that's actually pretty interesting. You know, it shows you how to do like budget friendly vacations.
Yep.
It shows you a lot of stuff that may come up that you know, maybe you haven't considered when you're planning your trips.
Shit happens. Yeah.
I got music videos on here, obviously. We've got these minivan musician things, you know, with both interviews and stuff like we're doing tonight.
Come on. There's something for everybody. At
Absolutely.
Minivan
We're
Musician.
pandering to everyone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I just think that, like, you know, people who like to travel also like to listen to hip-hop, and also like to work out. I got those videos coming for my fellow middle-aged guys and Jake's doing his before and after pictures.
Yeah.
My son is 13. Like, he's been training in a gym with me, and the workouts I do are what would honestly be considered pretty much professional bodybuilder intensity and workload and everything and philosophies, and he's done it with me at 13 years old. That's pretty impressive, actually. It's pretty cool. Another guy came up to the gym, up to him at the gym tonight, and gave him props for it, just for showing up. You know
That's
what I mean?
awesome. And he does it because he wants to, you know.
Yeah, I don't make him do it.
He's not like, oh God, like he wants to.
Yeah, he wants to do it. He has his days where he's like, I feel like crap, but everybody does. And to be honest, I kind of beat him down in there. I'm trying to show him the right way to do it.
Good.
And rest in peace to my grandfather, Donald Wood, who I just found out passed in the last little over a year, I believe.
Yeah, it's very saddening to hear.
He has a hell of a story, many stories. I've actually thought about telling them on the channel. I would ask his daughter, my aunt Pam, if she would be cool with that, because they're really interesting, and I would honor him properly, because I don't know that much about like my family history, but what I do know is interesting, and his is maybe the best of all of it. And you know, I've been going harder in the gym too, because that was something that he did. You know, he like benched 550 when that was a big thing back in the day. Like, he hung out with Lou Ferrigno and Schwarzenegger and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm like, okay, well, I've got to kind of honor him with this. It's one of those things where, like, mentally it makes you work harder.
Yeah,
where you're like, okay, there's something with, you know, as a namesake, like there's something to be proud of in the family, and if I'm half-assing that thing, I may as well not do it.
That's like keeping a piece of the person with you, you know?
Kinda, yeah, it is, because he taught me so much about that at such a young age with the limited time I had with him, because he knew it was a positive thing. He was always about sports and everything in general, for the positive things that it adds to your life, beyond just the competition and all the, you know, the attention that comes from it and stuff like that. So it was a totally positive thing. You know, it's like, what's his name? Christopher Rivers, you know, going hard in every verse because his dad was Big Pun. It's similar to that.
Yeah.
I'm probably never going to bench, you know, 500 pounds, you know, but I have a goal, 350. I'd be happy with 350. You know, maybe I'll approach 400 again. But anyways, anything else you want to cover, add?
No, it's late. We should probably go to bed and all that. So.
Yeah, we're basically about to start moving, so our setup here is meh.
Yeah.
Obviously,
we
fucking sheet
we're
up
under
here, and the lighting's weird and everything. But maybe when we move, we'll have a pretty cool dedicated setup.
Yeah.
To do this.
We can do some pods from the front porch swing while we play some Upchurch in the background.
Maybe a little Broadnax.
Yeah.
I'm a Broadnax fan now.
And
shout out Broadnax.
Some Struggle and some Jelly and some Yellow.
Maybe a little Kasky.
And
just
some
a little
Burden.
bit of Kasky mixed in there. Maybe some Burden and Caskey collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I also want to do some OBX videos while we're there.
We
I
will.
mean, obviously we've done some from afar because, you know, when I look them up on YouTube, people have done good videos, but I feel like there's not enough out there. So I'd really like to do some because we have a perspective of maybe we see it as being more special because we
When
didn't
you're
grow up near there.
vacationing,
Yeah, like we're still excited about it. You know, after a few years, we'll probably be like, yeah, whatever,
Yeah,
that's home.
that's home now, yep.
I will miss you, Michigan.
We will.
To some degree, I actually will.
I think, you know, that's another pod. We'll go over that in maybe like the next one. But, you know, yeah, there is things that we will miss for sure.
Not the governor.
But, yeah, she's honestly one
Michigan,
of
there's
the
a
big
governor.
reasons that has
Ooh.
pushed me to want to be like, let's go as fast as we can.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like, truly.
That's big grudge.
I want my kids to fuck out of here.
For real. And you know, you know, like we've said before, man, you get to a certain age. Like Maxwell liked that he said that we should expound on this in a future episode where we talk about like how traveling helps to beat depression.
Oh, absolutely.
It really does.
100%.
And we're gonna try and have you know, some people from a very interesting psychologically based website.
Yes.
He gave me the contact, and I'm behind on contacting people as usual.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll
we've
have you
had a lot
contact.
going on the last couple weeks, so yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, but I really like the idea of going somewhere. You know, you get to a certain age, and it's like, you know, I think maybe there's somewhere out there that I'm meant to be, or at least give a try. You know, some people are fortunate enough to where they can go, you know, backpack Europe when they're 20.
Right.
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? You know, go see the world and stuff like that. We saw a little corner of the world, and I've seen a little more other times that we found a place that I think that both of us mutually see as, wow, I don't know if we could do better than this. I think this would be ideal for us.
I've lived in different states. You know, I lived in freaking Hawaii.
Yeah.
You know, that's its own entity in itself. But yeah, I mean, I love it there. North Carolina. I love it there. I do have some really good cousins there too. That would be like 5 hours away from us. But
Yeah, they're still pretty far.
But it's closer than they are now.
We
so,
gotta be as far east as you can get.
You know.
If y'all don't know about it, look up the Outer Banks in North Carolina. It's a little strip of barrier island that goes, you know, like 100 miles. It's only 2 miles wide, so I mean, you have ocean over here. Some, you know, the arguably the best beaches in the world.
yes.
And you can drive on them. You have them all to yourself because there's 100 miles there. There's dunes. Then on the other side, always within 2 miles at the most, you have the Sound, which is fresh water, maybe better for swimming, stuff like that.
It's like a lake.
So you have both types of bodies of water, and then in the middle of it all, you have the dunes and these amazing forests and stuff like that. And then you can go over to the what's it called, Roanoke Island, which
and
is
you go up a little further, and you're like, you know, in Kerala, and you can see the wild horses.
yeah. There's like basically every type of environment aside from a desert or a frozen tundra, which I don't want either of those things.
Either of those.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, I can fucking surf there if I want to. I might be a little too old to start doing that.
We'll have to worry about tropical storms and flooding, so that's the one thing we'll have to, like, you know, be on the lookout for. And
we'll be outside of there enough to where it's not
stuff.
too bad on where we'll be. Like,
We'll be alright, you know?
yes, absolutely.
We'll
So
fine.
we'll talk more about that in the near future, probably next week. But if you have nothing else to add,
Oh, yeah, we'll wrap it up.
all right. So fuck Nicole Arbour and
Absolutely.
fuck Cosmetic Conservatives. Do not come, you know, grabbing onto our cause or our movement, thinking you can just get an audience from us because, you know, we're whatever. We're kind of...
We're the underdog.
Yeah, that's the best way to say
know.
it. We're the underdog and we'll accept anyone.
Yeah, well,
it seems that way.
The
but
underdogs,
no.
you know, we got guns that we're not gonna let you take, so get the fuck away from us.
And as far as, like, you know, if she doesn't, you know, if she were to hear this and she doesn't believe that we are a little too strong in our beliefs to let somebody just squeak in, go down south, man. Go down south of the United States. Go down to fucking Mississippi or something.
Yeah, I lived there. Good luck.
You know, and tell people that you are the conservative representative on social media or something. You're Nicole Arbour, and
show them the Dear Black People video.
Yeah, definitely show them that. They'll love that. You know, yeah, just ask them what they think of your... No, you know what, though? She would get by, because from everything I've watched, she just kind of...
She's a manipulator.
Yeah, she molds herself to what the other person wants to hear.
She
but
is...
they will see through you.
Yeah.
They'll see through you, man.
Yeah.
You can't fake being a patriot, man.
No.
You can only get so far doing that.
Yeah.
You know, come down there and meet some of these guys that did tours and shit like that.
Yeah, come to our neighborhood. We got them here.
And yeah, and look them in the face and say that you're out there representing for their side of their beliefs, their heart and everything. Have a real conversation with them. Within 30 seconds, they're going to be like, you know what, bitch, get the fuck up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
It's in your best interest to leave.
Get off my porch.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, other than that, I want y'all to go check out the 1996 album.
Mm-hmm.
You will love it. Everybody fucking does. It's the greatest album. It's the greatest album, let me tell you. You have no idea just how great it is. I don't know. I was doing a Trump thing.
It's splendid. It's fantastic. We're making hip-hop great again.
It's had millions and millions of listeners.
Yeah, okay. You know who Nicole Arbour reminds me of sometimes? Juicy Smouye.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Lord, they could be, you know, they should just date.
Yeah, wait, he's gay.
So what? You know, they could figure that out, too, somehow.
They could. I mean, she could buy one of those.
It'd be a new...
Hey, it's Pride Month. Like, she could go get, you know, a fucking thing and use the thing.
All right. It's late. We're going to bed.
Yeah, I'm exhausted,
Good night,
people.
y'all.
Sorry to ramble a bit, but I thought y'all should know exactly what we're up against. Hopefully one person hears this and each one teach one. We just want to make sure who's doing the teaching, why, what their motive is, and what good it is for our party.
Read the emails.
Yes. And on that note, I say peace.